Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. It is a great day. I have arrived. I am done with the carnivore deviations. I am done with concentrating on being 180 pounds. I am done with listening to anybody else other than the information that I got from the outset. You know, there's an old saying, when you get the principles and the basics, people always want to reinvent a wheel. Well, you know, it doesn't get any simpler than, a tire doesn't get any rounder. It's the same thing. People want to try to recreate, they're trying to capitalize. And you know what made me discover that? Let me put this in the microwave. We'll make some coffee here. Yesterday's coffee. That's right, I'm not too good for it. We're going to do 2 minutes, 15 seconds. So, yesterday I made a video talking about this Ben Azadi guy. And I got some interesting comments from the community that actually know pretty good stuff. A lot more than I do. Well, and he knows more than I do too. Everybody knows more than I do. I'm following along. I'm just trying to bring up the rear right here on this carnivore business. But the information that I have gleaned from my community and the YouTube internet has worked, has 100% worked. And what's worked and what's not worked is anything in addition. Other than I saved myself a couple of dollars by eating once a day, I believe that the eating once a day thing, it might have contributed. There's nothing wrong with fasting occasionally. I'm not going to stop that. But no more one meal a day. Here's what I am. I am what? Look at this. Hate to brag. Let me get you down a little bit. Let me get you down a little bit more. Here we go. I don't know if you can see from there. We're talking, I'm a 66-year-old guy. We're talking just this much, of continually going to the gym, and my walking is going to be where I want to be. I could care less about the scale. Although the scale said 196.8 this morning, I don't care. I don't care if it says 298. As long as this is going down, which it has considerably, and I continue to feel as exuberant as I do right now. Part of my attitude that I have is because I think correctly. I try to, and we talk about it on the channel and other videos like Crushing It for Christ. But I also have gone through a change in my life on some personal things in the most recent weeks. And that is all kind of like being lifted from me now. And I'm telling you, this morning, I woke up, I threw these shorts on. I got to do some laundry. I don't have any more of my t-shirts to wear. So I got these collared ones on here. And when I put my pants on, my shirt accidentally just went inside to button my pants, And I said, and I looked in the mirror and I said, stay tucked, baby. You're tucked. Plus geezers tuck anyway. So I'm enjoying my heavy whipping cream this morning. And we're going to talk about, briefly again, about the carnivore diet. So going back, turning my back to you. Got to get this cream in here and mixed up. I'm so excited about it. I had 1 cup this morning. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. And come on in here a little bit. I went to bed at 10 o'clock and I got up at 4:45, but I laid there. I must have been sleeping on this side of my face. My bad eye was blood red, still a little red. Oh, folks, that's that McDonald's, baby. That's slurpable. Hope you're slurping with me. That's the best cup of coffee I've ever drank in my life. I actually like my McDonald's the way I make it better than McDonald's. I really do. It must be the heavy whipping cream or my mixture or the great water I use. That is good. So let's talk about carnivore, and let me tell you what I discovered from my community, from other YouTubers, and the original outline. Stay with the original outline. Folks, I am going to not starve myself. And I'm not hungry anyway. I feel satiated. Is that the word? That's a $3 word for you today. I only learned that word since I've been doing carnivore. I stay full feeling since I did those 24-hour fasts and all that. They were not difficult. There was periods of where, I felt a little hungry. Nothing like when I was eating sugar and every 2 hours I felt like, man, if I don't eat right now, I'm going to starve to death. You don't get that. You do definitely not need more than 2 to 3 meals a day because you can eat all you want. There is no calorie counting. And everybody out there has been helpful, and everybody out there thinks they know something, and you're wrong. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to eat at a certain time. You don't have to do anything except eat meat, baby, meat, eggs, and butter. If you want to have seafood, enjoy it. I'm going to have quite a bit of it. I bought a bunch of sockeye salmon on sale. In fact, I'm going to defrost some a little bit later. It doesn't take but a short time to do that. And I'm going to put it in the on the grill in some aluminum foil with butter and Edmund salt. And I'm going to tear it up. But those basics, meat, eggs, and butter, like Dr. Ken Berry was introduced to me from Jim Bauer, who hounded me like a dog until I finally got it. I got on it, and I failed, I quit, I said to hell with this and whatever, and went back to eat my salads and everything. And that's the problem. It doesn't include salads. It doesn't include plants. Some people say, oh, you can eat your vegetables. You can have a carrot. You can have a sweet potato. Well, I'm not going to argue with you and say you can't. You probably can. I'm not going to. I'm perfectly satisfied with sausage, bacon, eggs, steak, hamburger, lamb, chicken, salmon, and all these things in butter and cooked, and fills me up, and I don't have a feeling of being hungry again for many hours. So I've achieved I don't know why the number on the scale, which I was really consumed with, and believe me, a couple more pounds, I'm not quite there. I'm almost there. I don't need to lose 20 pounds. And a lot of you are saying I'm going to look puny if I go down to 180. I'm going to look like a boy. You ain't a man unless you're a 36 waist. Well, 34, I say. And I agree. I do want to be stocky, bulky, muscular looking, athletic looking. I don't want to be, I don't want to be that. I seriously don't. But I was 180 once, and I got some pictures. I just wasn't working out, I guess. But I just looked healthy. I didn't look puny, but I would probably rather have a little more chest and shoulders and arms and stuff, of which I have. And, unless I lose that, I'm probably never going to see that weight, which is what Fred told me. So I've arrived, and it's just so liberating. I'm a lib to know I don't have to look at a time. Okay, it's, I got to eat by this, I got to stop by that, and all that. I can eat, and I know I'm not going to eat much, often, 2 to 3 times on a big day. But I can get out here and make videos again and make my bacon and eggs in the morning. I can throw a ribeye on for lunch. And at dinner, I can make a couple of hamburger patties with some eggs and mustard if I want to have 3 meals a day. If I so feel I need to do that. And I'm going to be getting all the protein I need, none of the carbs that I don't need, all the fat that I need, and I'm going to be a healthy, clear-minded, focused. You know what? The clear mind thing's probably true. That's why I'm able to dial this in and figure it out in 7 weeks. Sunday, this weekend, will be my, I don't know, 7th or 8th week. I know the 29th is my anniversary of my 2nd month. So today's only what is it, 18 or something? I still got 10 days of the 2nd month before I got another whole month. Can you imagine? Stick with me, folks, and watch the progress. It's really going to be amazing. When I take my shirt off and I go to the beach or walk the bridge to get some color, I'm not, hey, take a look at this. Don't you wish you had? No, not there yet. But where I was a month ago, I had to be somewhere where I didn't want people to see me when I took my shirt off. Because what is that guy going to have a baby? So, yes, I'm very elated about my physique at this point. It can only get better. And the fact that I know that I don't have to do 24-hour fasting or these mix-up fastings where it's 16, then it's 18 hours, and then 20 hours. I'm just going to do what Dr. what I was trained by the godfather of carnivore to do. And now I'm repeating myself. I'm just going to eat when I'm hungry and as much as I want. But it's going to be meat, eggs, and butter, and seafood. That's it. That's it. There's a lot of channels out there that are doing very, very well that have tagged this fasting thing on, or introducing other food groups, or talking about your metabolic this and that, and the health, and your blood work, and everything that people are interested in, of where this will take you. Just forget it. Just forget all that noise. It's just noise. In fact, I don't even really need to watch Ken Berry. I actually unsubscribed from all those channels that I was subscribed to, and it was about 5 of them. Eric Berg, and now look, I gleaned a lot of very interesting and helpful information. I do understand about fasting. Fasting will, if I start seeing something, to go into ketosis and to get into a fat burning stage. I know all these things now. So I don't need to keep watching it. And I understand about electrolytes, and I understand about salt and those kinds of things. Do I know it all? Hell no. Can you believe a damn thing I say? Hell no. Tomorrow will be another video. No, but really, I am so happy with the fact that I was introduced to this lifestyle, to this type of eating. I am so happy of how I feel. I don't care about the cream now, because people were telling me, hey, you're not truly fasting if you put cream in your coffee. You got to drink only water or black coffee or unsweetened tea. And you know what? According to the books, that might be actually true. In fact, it probably is true. But I'm just not going to sacrifice everything I want in life. I believe the fact that I gave up sugar, flour, fried foods, candy, everything like that, and I wasn't, needing to lose 300 pounds, it's worked. And so that's my lifestyle. That's who I am. We don't need to talk about it anymore. And you're like, whew, I believe that when I hear it. Just gonna, start being a lot more active. I definitely want to work on my strength training. I definitely want to see, since some body fat is starting to really disappear, for the first time in my life, especially at 66, I'd really like to be proud and really, can see muscle. Like when you take your shirt off, you're really proud. So that's my new goal, is to train strength training, weightlifting. And I will be mixing it up. These are the things that I learned about fooling your body, keeping your body guessing, and doing things like that. Working with dumbbells, working with machines, working with the cables, doing different things like that. And never will I stop walking. Walking is probably the utmost important thing that we all should do, especially after eating, getting those steps in, keeping that thing moving, keeping your digestion going, and everything like that. And now let's talk about that. This is something that's really, really changed. It's a little bit TMI. My shirt's kind of tight. I'm trying to figure it out. Bowel movements. Oh my God, where's this guy going? Disgusting. It is. We all have them. We're human beings. We eat. What goes in, goes out. But guess what? Not much is ever showing up and going out. Everything I'm eating is being absorbed. Very little secretion. Sometimes when I may be eating too much fat, I suppose, there's, as one guy said, that funny guy on YouTube, I forgot his name, he's really hilarious. He makes all these shorts. He's a carnivore guy. He's a young guy. He said, be careful. You ready? You can pee out of your butt. I don't ever talk like that. I'm sorry. But really, that and very little is all I've seen in 2 months almost. I used to eat the salads and all the other things, and like most American diet people, I was regular. I was never had a problem with constipation or anything. And, you know, you do your business, and there was some business there. You know, even a couple of businesses a day. No more of that. And no more of that feeling. No more of that. When I get through eating these meals that I sit down and make 2 steaks or 4 hamburger patties and 6 eggs or whatever I do, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not much. I don't go like, I don't feel like I got it from the table on Thanksgiving or at a restaurant or anywhere, home cooked meal, and go, oh, I'm miserable. I feel so full because of the bloating and stuff. I get to the point where my mind says, yeah, I can't even eat another bite of this hamburger or steak because I'm comfortably stuffed. And that's the point I get to because I'd heard that's what you do. And I'm like, well, I don't want to start getting hungry and I don't want to eat too much. So I'll eat a lot of this. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I've been doing. And maybe now I don't even need to eat as much because I can eat as often as I feel like I'm hungry. I don't need to worry about getting in 2 steaks in one sitting. So that's what I'm doing. That's where I woke up this morning, folks. I'm a carnivore guy. I'm a traditional carnivore guy. I don't eat plants. I eat when I want to, when I'm hungry. I don't count calories. I drink plenty of water and all the coffee I want with the creamer. I don't care how much creamer I put in there. I try to be careful, you know what I mean. And I don't worry about the calories. I just get my steps in, eat meat, baby, meat, and crush it.